All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Steaks with Mates. I'm your host, health coach Joff, and today I'm joined with a very special guest, Joe Ascoli. Have I said it right?
Yes. How are you, buddy? Thank you so
I'm
much for
good,
having me.
man. Oh man. So a bit of a backstory before we get into the meat of the discussion. We
hmm
actually did plan to record this a few weeks ago. Then there was a an event that took place, and all I can say is, kids, man, they
Yep. The joys of parenthood.
the joys of parenting, and I'm sure this is going to be brought up in conversation because, yeah, I mean, we're both parents, and
Yeah.
they change our lives. So, first of all,
100%.
welcome, man, welcome,
Thank you.
and I'm glad to have you back on. Let's start with your story. What's led you to where you are today? And I guess pinpoint a time when you would say your health journey began.
Uh, well, um, currently right now I live in New York, as you can't tell by my accent. Come from a very loud Italian family from New York, and I work as a union labor foreman for a big general contractor in Manhattan. And it's a very active, crazy, hectic lifestyle all the time. It's something new every single day, always thinking on the fly, really quick,
I can imagine.
very demanding. We deal with very high end commercial clients, so it's a lot of things you're dealing with on a daily basis, a lot of responsibilities. So I'm I have married to my beautiful wife for 5 years. It's going to be 6 years at the end of June, and we have a beautiful baby boy, John Marco. He's 10 months old. He's
Oh,
been the greatest blessing ever. I absolutely love being a dad. I've seen all my nieces and nephews grow up, and now it's my turn. I'm the youngest of four siblings, and I absolutely just love being the dad. And I've always taken my health very seriously. I've always been an athlete my whole entire life. You know, Varsity in a lot of sports. In high school, I was going to play golf in college, but going into my freshman year, they started a whole new construction project at the university I went to, and one of the programs that they cut was a golf program. Only way they could get it is if they got private funding for it, which we never did. So that's okay. That was the end of my golf career. But yeah, like I said, I've always taken my health very seriously, and but it's amazing how much false information there is in the health and fitness industry. And unfortunately, you have to experience everything through trial and error. That's the only way that you're going to learn.
yeah.
And living in New York and growing up in New Jersey, it's the bro science capital of the world. And everyone thinks you got to eat 6 meals a day. You got to have your carbs. You got to have carbs in order to get jacked and lean and everything. No, you don't. You don't. But
Oh, dear.
I've always been very intrigued by health and especially longevity. I was fortunate and blessed enough to have a health mentor of mine. Lives in Florida. His name is Robert Marking, and he was one of the first ones that got me into biohacking. And I met him probably, this has got to be 12, 15 years ago. And he was telling me about grounding, ketogenic diet. He's like, if you're going to look to break into the fitness industry, you may want to look to start looking into a ketogenic diet because this is going to be the trend.
Mm.
And boy, was he right on the ball as far as that's concerned. I should have paid more attention. But he introduced me to Dave Osprey, um, just a whole bunch of other different biohackers, and just really starting to take my health into my own hands. You know, just like in everything else in life, that I really truly believe that there's a problem. I mean, there's a solution to every problem. Same thing applies to our body. And unfortunately, and I know it's common with a lot of other people too, I've had a lot of very close members pass away from cancer, and it just really start to observe different people's lifestyles and what am I doing that is it is it benefiting my health or is it not? And one time I was listening to Joe Rogan, excuse me, and I saw that Dr. Sean Baker was on talking about a carnivore diet. Like, okay, this is a really interesting concept. I knew about a ketogenic diet, and I was doing a ketogenic diet for a number of years up until that point. When I heard that podcast, I was probably doing a ketogenic diet for 2 or 3 years. I was following all the guidelines, get to have like spinach salads with a lot of protein, fat, olive oil, eating macadamia nuts, all that stuff. But I realized that, like, yeah, I lost some weight, but I was still having inflammation in my gut. I'm like, what's going on? Like, I'm having salads, I'm eating protein, I'm having nuts. Like, what's going on here? Like, I'm following what it says in the books that everyone tells you to do. So I hear Dr. Baker talking about the carnivore diet, and I'm like, you know what? It makes sense. The two keys to longevity are lean, lean body mass. I mean, a low body fat and uh, high muscle mass. So I'm like, that pretty much solves everything. You're going to get lean eating protein because you can't overeat protein. And by eating the healthy animal fats, it's going to allow you to burn fat. So I listened to it, but I didn't follow it right away. I was still like, but like, I can't have any carbs. Like, I'm Italian. I gotta have my pasta at least one day a week or 2 days a week. Like I can't do that. Like that's impossible. There's no way. So long story short, about another year goes by, and I come across Dr. Anthony Chafee, and he started talking more about the carnivore diet. But I really love the way that he presented it because not that Dr. Baker isn't extremely knowledgeable about the carnivore diet because he's obviously a very smart man. You could say he's like the godfather of the carnivore diet. He's the one that like really brought it to the map, put it
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
map. And but I love the way that Dr. Chafee was presenting it because again, he's another very, very smart man. And but he also had a lot of historical data to back it up and support it, which I found very intriguing. And I started really diving into his content, following him, watching his videos, and again, listening but not following. And it got to a point where my wife and I were uh, looking to finally decide to start a family, and we were trying for a while, and we had difficulties. My wife suffered an ectopic pregnancy where she had to go in for emergency surgery. We had two miscarriages, and this went on for about a year and a half. And I said to myself, enough is enough. There's got to be something going on. And I've been hearing so many great things about the carnivore diet and in terms of fertility and men's hormonal health. So I decided to take the plunge. I joined Dr. Chafee and Simon Lewis's 30-day carnivore challenge. And it went along with when I was doing Andy Frisella's 75 hard. I was doing that because I've done it 2 times prior, and I saw the most gains in my life, just in all aspects, where I saw some real advancement took place while I was doing 75 hard, because I'm a very disciplined person when I know what tasks I have to follow. That's just the way that I'm programmed. So I signed up for Dr. Chafee and Simon Lewis's Carnivore group. About a month and a half in, my wife and I get pregnant.
Wow.
Now, that could be completely circumstantial, but my wife wasn't carnivore. I was 100% carnivore, strict. Like, not even coffee, nothing. I did everything super strict.
Straight line.
So I she was obviously eating a lot more red meat and a lot more protein than she was previously, because I was doing most of the cooking as far as that's concerned. So, but definitely a lot more red meat. And I was also taking organ pills, which I've been taking for years now. They're like my multivitamin. I just believe in the whole food nutrition. I really, truly do. And my wife had a great pregnancy. She experienced no aches and pains, nothing, giving her liver tablets because it's very good for the baby, for their brain health.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, had a beautiful baby boy. He's healthy. He's 10 months old. He's ready to walk. He's just doing so well. And now I got him eating steak. He's
Oh,
eating
I love it.
avocado. He's eating eggs. So he just loves it. Every time I cook him a nice ribeye and butter, he just sucks the life out of that steak. He sucks the juice out of it. He just
Yeah, I love
absolutely
it.
loves it. Now he's got his teeth coming in, so now he's steadily nibbing at it and taking some chunks of the steak out
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
chew on it. But he just absolutely loves it. His eyes light up when he has that steak. It's so awesome to watch. I just
Yeah.
absolutely love it. But yeah, that's how I started with the carnivore, and now I've been doing it for. After I finished 75 hard, I wasn't super strict for a little while. I went strict for about 4 or 5 months. Then I
Okay.
stopped. I would have carbs here and there, maybe 1 or 2 days, but it was a meal. It wasn't a whole day. It was just like one meal that like I had some carbs.
Right.
But it's amazing how when you go super strict on something and you deviate from it a little bit, how everything starts to come back. I start to get those sugar cravings for the carbs again. It's just amazing how quickly that happens. It's just like that switch
Yeah.
goes off in your brain. And but now I'm back to being strict because I'm doing a challenge to myself for again 90 days, and I have a certain protocol that I'm following as far as everything else. I call it my athletic warrior protocol, because part of my podcast and company that I'm starting, the Athletic Warrior Project, it's inspired me to. I want to help inspire other dads to be the most athletic warrior version of themselves. Want everyone to unleash that warrior deep within. I believe every single man and woman, but I'm focusing on dads because masculinity, in my opinion, has been attacked for a very
Yeah.
long time.
Oh yeah.
And we need very strong masculine father figures in the family element today. I just personally believe that. And I want to create a community like that for all dads to get together and just empower one another and really, as I say, unleash the warrior within. I truly believe in that. So, implementing other things that I have in my protocol to get myself in best shape as possible, knowing that I have a 10-month-old that I'm taking care of along with my wife. So, you know, have to be very strategic when I fit my workouts in and not waste any time, not dilly dallying, and not spending time in the gym for an hour and a half. I don't have
Yeah.
time for that. I'm lucky I have a half an hour, but I'm maximizing that time to put on as much muscle mass as I possibly can, get as lean as I possibly can, and just implement all other things into my lifestyle. And that's what I want to help inspire other fathers to do.
Amazing, Joe. That I just really resonate with your message right now about, you know, bringing out the warrior within, and it hits me hard because I'm a dad myself, and
Right.
you're absolutely right. The masculinity in today's society has been stripped away because of. I mean, you can pinpoint it to a lot of things, but
Yeah.
it wasn't until I went carnivore myself that I truly understood what it actually meant like to be a dad. I felt like it, people talk about the mental clarity, which of course I achieved, and things improved in my life in that aspect.
Hmm.
But the connection I had with my family
Yep.
became solid. I knew all of a sudden I had this tunnel vision that I have to be the best dad that I can be for my family,
Exactly.
and the carnivore diet has done that. So you know, strongly encourage people, men, right now to reach out to
Yeah.
Joe and get on board with this because what you are doing is amazing, man. And
Thank
I've
you.
got your back. I've got your back, and I'm sure a lot of men, fathers, will benefit from this. What does the diet look like today, if you don't mind me
With me,
asking?
pretty much it is obviously a lot of ribeyes.
A lot of
Um,
ribeyes.
oh
Ooh.
yeah, a lot of ribeyes. Love ribeye because I'm the type of person where for so many years I tracked my macros, weighed my food. I just have no patience for it anymore, to be perfectly honest with you. And when
Yeah.
you have kids, every second is counted for.
Yeah.
And I just don't have time to do any of that. And the
Yeah.
last time when I did the carnivore challenge with Dr. Chafee and Simon, I went from 22.5% body fat to 10% body fat in two
Wow.
and a half months.
Wow.
Best shape I ever got in, as lean as I ever got, without counting anything. I just listened to what Dr. Chafee said. Eat fatty meat until it stops tasting good. That's
Wow.
exactly what I did. It was so simple. I didn't have to think about it. My body just acclimated to itself once it was being fed the proper diet that it's supposed to have. Evolutionarily, that's how we're supposed to eat. That's how we evolved as a human species. And um, it's steak, eggs. When I have chicken, it's dark meat. I'll
Mm-hmm.
have chicken thighs with the skin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, chicken wings. I'll have pork belly. Like to have some good pork belly every once in a while. That's very
Mm-hmm.
good. Um, as a little snack to kind of hold on to my Italian roots a little bit, I like fresh prosciutto and mozzarella as a little snack. I'll take
Oh,
slices of
love it.
mozzarella and I'll wrap the prosciutto around the mozzarella and I'll just go to town on that.
Love it.
You know, um, but yeah, and the funny thing is, every once in a while, especially like at family gatherings or during the holidays and everything, it's a very big thing for us, and it's more
Yeah.
than just the food. It's the memories that
Mm-hmm.
gather around the table. Italians are very passionate about their food,
Mm.
and I'm not gonna lie. During Christmas time and those special occasions, I'll have the pasta that's there.
Yeah.
But again, it's only once in a while, And because I've been eating a carnivore way for such a long time now, after I have it, I'm like, okay, it was good, but I don't have the satisfaction like I used to when I ate this all the time.
Yeah.
I don't long for it anymore. I ate it because I wanted to, because I chose to,
Yeah.
not because the food was controlling me. I actively chose to do it. Could I have just turned around and said, no, I'm not going to eat it? Yes, I have that discipline now. I know that I can. I actively chose to participate in it. And I know that I'm going to have some ramifications for it a couple of days later. I'll feel a little sluggish. It'll probably knock me out of ketosis a little bit. But if I fast for a little bit, it'll knock me right back into ketosis, which that I love doing. I've been fasting for years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I love training fasted, and spend most of my day at work. I fast most of the day. A lot of times I used to have lunch, and then dinner, so I only have 2 meals a day. But I felt myself still getting like that little sluggish, like around 3 o'clock. Just a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just feel so much better when I'm in a fasted state. I
Yeah.
just feel like I'm on lightning fuel. Like everything is just razor sharp, especially in my job where it's very demanding and I have to be on top of everything, be razor sharp and noticing every little nook and cranny, make sure everything's clean. I'm managing different trades on the job. So I just feel better at my job in a fasted state. So then I come home, I have one very big meal, and I'll probably eat close to almost 2 pounds of protein in one sitting.
Amazing.
But again, I eat a lot of food, fatty meat, until it stops tasting good because your body is very, very smart and it knows your hunger signals and knows when it's reached its maximum capacity. And it's really simple. When your mind is saying no, like this is not appetizing anymore, you stop. That's it, guys. It's
Yeah.
really not complicated. It doesn't have to be, it's not as hard and such a process that a lot of fitness gurus on social media portray it to be. I've been around those guys. I grew up with those guys. And don't get me wrong, they look great on stage. They're jacked, they're lean. But you see a lot of these guys later on in their lives, they have health issues. I'm more concerned about my health issues. I'm here for the long haul. I want to live past 100 years old and be lean and jacked. I want to see my great grandchildren see me doing push ups every
Yeah.
day and being lean. That's what I want.
Exactly.
And I believe every person is capable of living like that, being disease free, being completely free of different ailments and all autoimmune diseases. These are all metabolic and mitochondrial issues that are going on today.
Yeah.
And I just personally believe that a carnivore diet is the way of reversing any ailments that we have in our body.
Yeah.
And if some people here, like any people in your audience that are listening, if you're following Joffrey's content and you're on the fence about doing a carnivore diet, just take the plunge and do it for a month. You're going to notice a tremendous difference. I mean, didn't you? When you
Yeah.
first started, after a month, did you not notice a complete difference in how you felt?
Within a week.
Yeah,
Yeah. It was quick.
exactly.
Very quick.
Exactly. It's just amazing how that switch goes off and how fast your body reacts to the proper fuel that it's supposed to have.
Hmm.
And that's what I want to help inspire other fathers to do. I don't, it irks me when I see guys flaunting their dad bod. Like,
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
gosh.
Call me a dick, call me an asshole, but you're not supposed to look like that. You're not supposed to have a dad bod.
Yeah.
You're the leader of your family. You're the first line of defense when harm comes to your family. You need to be as lean and fit as possible and as healthy as possible. You owe that not only to yourself, but to your wife and your kids that depend on you. I truly believe that in my deepest of hearts.
Love it.
And I don't say it to be judgmental of anyone because we've all been there. A lot of people deal with the issue of being overweight and losing weight. Me, I had the opposite. I was always the very skinny, scrawny kid my whole life. So I had the opposite. It was very hard for me to gain weight, put on muscle mass, no matter how much I ate. I still had the skinny fat body, the skinny arms, but
Yeah.
a little pudge in the gut.
Yeah.
As one of my former CrossFit coaches would say, I had side tits going on the side of my stomach. He
Oh
was
man.
such he was such a crazy guy. I miss him, but that's how I looked, and
Yeah.
I hated the way I felt. I had zero confidence in myself. When you take responsibility of your health, especially your physique. To me, when I see someone that is in very good shape, it shows that they have discipline, they know how to be committed to something, and they have a higher standard for themselves than a lot of other people do. And I admire that in people a lot. You know why? Because it's not easy. It's not
Yeah.
fun, but you have to do it. There's so many times where I'm just exhausted. That's one of my son's toys going off. Sorry about that. But,
Okay.
I just, it's just so important to be in the best shape as possible and as healthy as possible. And that's been a huge passion of mine. After seeing various close members of my family die of cancer, that's when it really hit home with me. And I told myself that I will never put my family through that, and how it could be solved by my lifestyle choices and what I choose to put in my mouth, what I eat, because that's where it all stems from.
Mm. Now that you've gone through this though, and you've gone through this journey and learning more about nutrition, you experience the benefits for you. What about the people around you? First off, how did they first react? What are their thoughts now? And is it your job? Do you feel like it's your job to tell them, or I guess to help them being, more educated on this topic?
Do you mean specifically like my immediate family, or just like
Yeah.
what I want to initially do, like with other people and get them involved?
Oh, let's talk about the immediate family and I
Um,
guess extend it if you want
well,
to go that way.
they definitely noticed the huge change in my body, and they saw um, the amount of confidence I had in myself. When you start to, excuse me, when you start to lose body fat and you're looking pretty schmexy there naked in the mirror when you get out of the shower. You're starting to see that deep V like coming down, that swimmer's V
Yeah,
going
yeah.
down. You're like, you know what? You're looking pretty good there, pal. Keep it up. I see you. I see you. But you just walk into a room like kind of like with your chest out a little bit, shoulders
Yeah.
back, own that shit.
Yeah.
I busted my ass doing this.
Yeah.
And every other man, every woman that got themselves that way, you deserve to flaunt that. Flaunt it. You worked and busted your ass to get that way.
Mm.
You went against the grain with everybody else saying, "Oh, you're crazy. That's too extreme." I get told that all the time, by the way. They're like, "Oh, well, no one's extreme as you." It's not being extreme. It's taking matters into your own hands and putting your best foot forward.
Is that by family or by friends
Oh, by
who says that?
everybody,
By everybody.
everybody, everybody. But my wife is my biggest supporter. Even though she doesn't do 100% carnivore, she definitely believes in the logic that I say because she's seen the proof is in the pudding. That she definitely see how it works.
Yeah.
And I'm also the type of person where I'm very passionate about what I believe in,
Yes.
and I'm gonna let you know how I feel.
Yes.
Sometimes I probably should keep my mouth shut, but I'm not. I'm just not. Because I'm going to call out your bullshit when you're saying it. I'm sorry. I hear it all the time on the job site too. Because they see me around the job site like I'm
Mm.
flying around everybody all day
Mm.
long. I just have constant energy. I'm cleaning the space. I'm doing demolition. I'm running errands. I'm coordinating things with the other trades. I'm talking with the client. I'm talking with the building engineers in the building, just constantly going. And the guys are looking at me, they're like, Joe, don't you ever stop? They're like, you're going around all day long. Like the particular job I'm on right now, this space is 50,000 square feet and the place is spotless. I could eat off the floor. They're like, I've never seen a construction site so clean. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I eat properly and I train. Like, I take my health very, very seriously. I'm like, oh, well, what do you do? Well, I eat a carnivore diet. Oh, really? I've been hearing about that a lot. It's popping up everywhere. Like, what do you think? So I'll talk to them a little bit about it, and I could see the interest a little bit, but they're like, so you don't have any carbs at all? Like, nothing? I'm like, guys, what do you care more about, the carbs or your health? Like, honestly. And I tell them, guys, I'm Italian. Like, I love my carbs. My inner fat boy will eat carbs every single day if I could, if it meant I didn't have to get fat. I would eat it all day long. But my body reacts differently to it. So I have to be very, very careful. And again, like I told you before, will I have it occasionally for like one meal on like a special occasion? Absolutely, I will. I'm not perfect. I'm not. But I also feel a lot of men and other people today could relate to that because it happens. We fall off sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially us dads. We're doing stuff with our kids and we're exhausted. We're changing them. We're getting ready for bath time, for bedtime. Making bottles, getting their bags ready for the next day.
Yeah.
It's just constant, nonstop, all the time. So we're not going to be on the ball all the time. And guess what? It's okay. It's okay to make a mistake here and there. But the most important thing is to immediately bounce right back into it after it happens. Don't just let
Mm.
that give you an excuse to continue to go down and start binging and veering off what you were originally supposed to be doing. Once you have that discipline, it's so much easier to snap right back. At least
Absolutely.
I found it that way. And that's what I could teach a lot of men today to do because I've experienced it all. I've done it, and it's not as hard as they think it is. It's just not. It's actually very simple.
Very. Very. I agree. I think, what helped from my, perspective listening into your story, I think what really helps is consistency. And once you actually, going through that 30-day or however many days it was, completely strict carnivore and experiencing the benefits, it makes it, it switches your mindset. You talk about that discipline. It snapped
Yep.
because it made sense. But I get it that it's not easy to give up certain foods for many reasons,
Sure.
cultural, social, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But just allow yourself a period where you've totally abstained and you'll get it. You will. And that's
It
awesome, man. I love it. Sorry.
No, no, not at all. I didn't mean to cut you off. Um, it's just you owe it to yourself to at least give it a try because the carnivore diet is the ultimate elimination diet where you're starting everything from ground zero. Okay. I'm eating animal fats, having protein, and that's it. Fat and protein. Those are the essential macronutrients. There's no such thing as essential carbohydrates. Doesn't exist. But you eat that for an extended period of time. You have a very good baseline on how your body reacts to it. You're starting to notice your body's changing. If you're also working out while you're doing it, which I truly encourage people to do because having muscle mass as you age is going to help with your bone density and it's just going to make you live longer and look younger.
Mm,
We have to be strong as we get older. It just happens
absolutely.
naturally with our bodies. As you know, you're in the health
Mm-hmm.
industry.
Yes.
And if you're doing that, you're noticing you're starting to put on muscle mass, your body's looking good, you're seeing those muscles pop. Once you do that for an extended period of time, if you want to try and see other foods and how your body reacts, now it's a lot easier for you to decipher if your body has a reaction to it or not. So, say you go on a carnivore diet for a little while, say 4 or 5 months, and now you're thinking, you know what? Let me see how my body reacts if I add a little bit of rice.
Yeah.
Okay, try it. Try it for a week. See how your body feels. I guarantee it's probably not going to feel good, but if you're one of those blessed people where you don't have a negative reaction, now you could test how much before you start really feeling like crap. It's much easier for you to decipher which foods your body has a negative reaction to. Let's just put it
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
It's just a much stronger baseline to go off of if you start off with a carnivore diet.
100%. I'm not one of those blessed people. I'm sorry. I have a little bit, and my
Me too.
body will tell me straight away.
What's your reaction?
Oh man, like it depends on what I'm eating. Usually if it's something like berries, it's not so bad, but I know that okay, these trips to the bathroom are a little bit more frequent.
Okay.
Not it's not extreme, but I can tell the difference. And
Mm-hmm.
once I exceed, let's say, a handful of berries,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is gonna wreak havoc for a few days. So it's not a big
You know,
threshold at all.
it's amazing how everybody's body reacts differently to certain foods. The body is just the most amazing thing in my opinion. I've always been intrigued by it.
Hmm.
For a while there when I was in college, I was thinking of becoming a doctor because I was just
Hmm.
so intrigued by it. But seeing all the math and science courses I had to take, I'm like, nah,
Yeah,
that is
nah.
not my personality at all. I'm a very outgoing. I like being
Yeah.
in front of people. So public relations was what I went into. So I'm like,
Hmm.
yeah, this is more of my bread and butter. I like doing this stuff. But um, with me, if it's any form of potatoes
Oh.
or pasta that's in a box, not like the fresh pasta
Yeah, yeah,
like I would get in Italy when my wife and I went on our honeymoon.
yeah,
That's a whole other thing that I could talk about. But the regular ones you see in the supermarket that are in the box, if you have
yeah.
any of those, immediately my hands and my feet start to swell,
Wow.
like
Oh no.
instantaneously.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Or, as my wife will joke around sometimes, I'll go on a sneezing fit. Like I'll just
Yes.
start sneezing like 6 or 8 times right in a row. I'm
Yep.
like, okay, I hit my carb max. I reach my sugar max. Like I'm done. That's how my body reacts. So
Yeah.
I at least know my limit with certain things because I tried to see what foods maybe I could add in. And
Hmm.
I just know that my body's going to react differently to definitely potatoes. It's not going to be
Hmm.
good at all. Berries, not so bad. Berries, I could kind of tolerate a little bit better. Pineapple, um, not so much, which sucks because I love pineapple. Love it. But
Don't tell me you
again,
added on pizza. We never
oh,
added it on
God
pizza,
forbid. God
huh?
forbid.
I
Oh,
was gonna
those are
say very
fight.
un-Italian.
Those are fighting grounds for me. Funny story I'll tell you about pineapple on pizza. One of my
Yeah.
buddies was getting married in Santa Barbara, California.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like a whole New Jersey reunion. All my
Yeah.
buddies that I
Yeah.
grew up with, we just completely took over downtown Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for those California people seeing all of us East Coast coming in. But long story short, after the wedding, we hit the bars downtown in Santa Barbara, and my one buddy Ray goes to me because he knows I hate it. Only place that's open at like 2:30 in the morning is this one pizzeria. He goes, "I'm in California. I'm getting a pineapple slice." I'm like, "Don't you dare! Don't you dare!" So he goes in. He comes out. Look at my pineapple slice. He's about to eat it. I smacked it out of his hand and let it fall right on the ground. I said, "Don't you ever eat that in front of me." I said, "I'll kick your ass."
Oh, I
And
love
now
it.
it's
I
like a
love
joke with all my friends. They're like,
it.
"Yeah, no, don't put pineapple on pizza in front of Joe. Like, doesn't, don't say that. Don't do that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know never to order the pineapple on the pizza whenever I'm at an. I don't know why they still have it in some Italian restaurants. Like why have it there if it's not gonna be?
I don't consider that an Italian restaurant if that's what
Done.
if they
Yeah,
serve
fair
it. I'm
enough.
like, nah, sorry, this is not a real Italian joint. Nope, sorry.
Yeah.
Walk past
Oh
it.
dear.
No good.
Oh.
A pineapple slices on a display window? Nope. Sorry. Bye bye.
Yeah. That's hilarious. All right, man. Well, let's wrap things up. Let's get into the social media space because that's where most of us discovered the carnivore diet.
Yes.
Who, let's say, the top three people in social media that have helped you the most in your journey. Could you give us a list?
Absolutely. Um, I could actually give you more than three right off the
Absolutely.
bat.
Yeah. Yeah.
100% Dr. Anthony Chafee. He's number one.
Yes.
Um, I would definitely say Simon Lewis
Yes.
helped me tremendously. Have to give a huge shout out to them because they are the ones that coached me on a carnivore
Yes.
diet, and I've had the most benefit from them. Another gentleman that has been very beneficial to me for my health is Dr. John Jaquish. For those of you that
Yes.
don't know him, he
Yes.
invented what's called the X3 bar and also the company OsteoStrong.
Mm-hmm.
I have only worked with the X3 bar for the past, I want to say, 8 years, and I've done the bodybuilding workouts. I
Mm.
drank the CrossFit Kool-Aid for a number of years, and I'm in the best shape ever by using the X3 bar, which is very heavy duty resistance bands. I'm injury free. I don't have aches and pains in my knees and my joints anymore. Another person that has been very beneficial to me is Dr. Gabrielle Lyon. She
Yes.
is a pioneer in medicine as far as she focuses muscle centric medicine. That's her term that she coined. Because she believes that muscle is the biggest organ in our entire body, and you need to be as strong and lean as possible to be as healthy as possible and live for a very long time. And she always comes up with cutting edge uh, data to back up those claims. So she is very excellent to follow, especially for you women out there. She's absolutely excellent to follow. And also Gary Brecka.
Yes.
I love his content because, again, he is a human biologist. You know, he says it all the time that he's not a doctor, but he completely transformed Dana White at UFC's health completely. He's helping all other athletes around the world to get in the best shape as possible. And he's just educating people on how to take their health in their own hands. You know, take charge of what you have, and there is a way to fix whatever ailments you have in your body. So definitely follow his content as well. Those are one of the top influential people for me as far as social media is concerned. Like, I follow their content and digest their content every single day. That's what I do.
Love it. Well, those are that is a solid top what people that that have influenced you. I think, and I know all of them, and they all do amazing things. Which reminds me, I really do want to get an X3 bar. That is something that I've been
Oh, you
wanting to
don't
get
have
for
it?
a long time. Nope, nope, no.
It's going to completely change the way you train and feel. Like, it's amazing. Now he came up with a different program. He paired up with whatchamacall, a West Side barbell,
Oh, Westside Barbell. Yes, he did. Yes, I saw that.
and
Yeah,
they have trained all the top athletes and athletic teams in the entire world. They trained the All
yeah,
Blacks,
yeah,
other big rugby teams, NFL teams,
yeah.
and the programming he they formulated for just the X3 users is incredible. I just started the second week, and I did a leg workout today, and my legs are still on fire.
Oh man,
Like, I could
I'm
see this.
sold. I'm sold.
Yeah, you're gonna be ready to hit the pitch with
Yeah.
the All Blacks anytime. Oh, I'm sorry, you're in Australia, so
No, no,
with
I'm from New Zealand. I'm
oh,
actually
New
from New
Zealand.
Zealand,
Okay,
so
I'm
All
sorry.
Blacks. Yeah, man.
So yeah, okay, good. I'm an All
Yeah.
Blacks fan too. So, but
Oh
yeah,
man,
man,
I'm
you'll be
excited.
ready to take the pitch.
Yeah, yeah. All right, all right. I'm doing it. Well,
Yeah.
Joe, where can people find you in social media? And I guess a final message to the people watching right now.
So you could find me on social media. Facebook is my name, Joseph Ascoli, Ascoli. Uh, Instagram is also at Joseph Ascoli, and I also have my YouTube channel and my other company, Athletic Warrior Project, that has its own page on Instagram and YouTube, and that's pretty much where I'm most active is Facebook and Instagram right now, and YouTube is for my
Your
my
podcast.
podcast, which you can find on Apple and Google, all the other streaming services for podcasts. Athletic Warrior Project, I have episodes on there. And my message to everyone out there, um, like I say on my posts all the time, is to unleash the warrior within. Do not be afraid to take your health into your own hands, because I believe everyone should live by what I call the 6 F's: faith, family, fitness, force, which is protection, self defense, freedom, and fun.
Love it.
You level all 6 of those aspects of your life, which is what I am going to teach other people to do, because I've spent a lot of time and research on how to maximize in all six of those areas of my life. And that's what I truly believe God has put me on this earth to do, is to help serve others and allow his children to be happy and healthy for a very long period of time and be a leader for all of their families, especially the fathers today. I want to empower a community of strong men that are healthy, fit, that have faith, that are servants of God and help serve other people in his name. And just don't be afraid. You all were put here on this earth to let your light shine. So let it shine. Don't let other people suppress that light. We all have that warrior deep down inside, and it's time for you to unleash it. Unleash the warrior within, guys.
Thank you,
That's my
Joe. Very inspirational. And for those who would like to follow Joe's journey, his platforms, and his social media, I will plug it down in the show notes below. But otherwise, I want to thank you, Joe, for coming on again. It's been an absolute honor to, be talking to you from across the pond. And
yes.
this is what I love about the community, and this is what I love about um, coaching as well. So thank you. And
Thank you,
for
Joffrey. It was an
those,
honor. Had so much fun.
thank you so much. Well, thank you all for watching. Please follow both Joe and I on social media. But until then, we'll see you in the next episode.